Hey, how you doing? So we're going to do a video, and we're going to talk about cholesterol for a minute. I feel like people are. I've seen so many posts lately, just on the groups I belong to, about keto and cholesterol being bad for you, and everybody's worried about their cholesterol and cholesterol medication, and there's all this hype about cholesterol, and you just got to step back and relax a little bit, all right? You don't got to freak out about cholesterol. So, talked a little bit about cholesterol before. I want you to know something: 70% or more of your brain and the covering of your nerves is cholesterol. It's a substance called myelin, and it's made from cholesterol. So you have to have cholesterol for your brain and nerves to be healthy. You have to have it. Cholesterol is not a bad thing. And all of your steroid hormones are made from cholesterol. I don't mean just a small amount of them. The basis for all of them are cholesterol. So what do we mean by steroid hormones? We mean your cortisone and your cortisol, the things that actually help your body deal with inflammation. We mean your testosterone. I mean your estrogens and your progesterone. All of these are made from cholesterol. So you have to have cholesterol. Now, what about this idea of having good and bad cholesterol? So I want to go over this with you. Hopefully you can see this. All right, so we have cholesterol, okay? Just abbreviate it for you, all right? And then we have, everybody's heard of HDL, right? Your HDL is your high density lipoproteins, okay? And we have your LDLs, your low density lipoproteins. Now, first of all, it's actually a bit of a lie that this is the good and that's the bad. Okay, so the high density, the reason people think that this is good is because it's actually not even cholesterol at all. High density lipoprotein, it's a protein. Okay, HDL is not cholesterol. HDL is a protein that carries cholesterol. And so I know you can look this up yourself, but you're going to see HDL is the good cholesterol. It's not cholesterol. It is a protein that carries cholesterol. And the theory is if you have higher levels of HDL, you carry cholesterol towards the liver where it can be processed rather than it sticking to your arteries, which is another lie, okay? Low density lipoprotein, again, not cholesterol, rather it's a protein that carries cholesterol, and the theory and some of the science shows that carries cholesterol away from your liver. Well, why would you need it to go away from your liver? You need it to go to places where we can make cholesterol to cover your brain and myelin. You need it to take it to your pardon me. You need to be able to take cholesterol to your, if you're a woman, to your ovaries where you can make estrogen and progesterone and testosterone. You need to be able to carry cholesterol to your adrenals where you can make your stress hormones. If you're a man, you need cholesterol to be able to, at your testicles in order to be able to make testosterone. You need to be able to carry cholesterol away from your liver where most of your cholesterol is made. Most of your cholesterol does not come from your diet. It does not come from your diet. Your liver makes it. So about 80% of your liver, of your cholesterol is made by your liver, okay? So if you have high cholesterol, you have to ask the question, why is your liver making more of it, okay? Now, so that's important to understand because you can't keep just saying we're going to diet your way into low cholesterol if your liver's making it, all right? Now, we can agree that HDLs are generally considered the good proteins, not cholesterol, but the good proteins. Hi, Lisa. And LDLs, everybody's heard that they're bad, right? These are the bad ones, right? Folks, this is not true, okay? So the reason I I was just actually reading something on a keto group. I support keto for most people. I think it's a good diet for most people. It's not a great diet for everybody, but it's a good diet for most people. And probably once or twice a day, somebody asks the question, well, my cholesterol levels now that I'm on keto are going through the roof, and they're freaked out about it. So before you freak out about it, you have to understand this. LDL is broken down, all right? So your doctor's not going to tell you this, all right? You can have this tested. You can request this be tested. But believe me, when you get your standard blood work and you get your lipid profile, this is not going to be part of it. Your LDLs are broken down into two categories. It's not tested for, but it is broken down into two categories. The large particles, okay, and the small particles, okay? So both of them being LDLs. This is the large particles and the small particles. If you have LDLs that are elevated, let's say your LDLs are high, and you get it checked, And most of your LDLs are the big, fluffy particles. Research actually shows that that's good for you. Okay? It's good for you. Now, if most of those particles are the small ones, all right, the small, harder particles, okay, research shows that that actually can be bad for you. But if you don't have this checked and your doctor says, oh my gosh, your LDLs are high, or your HDL to LDL ratio is not good, who cares? Find out the particle size. This is the most important part of getting your lipid profile, is getting particle size, all right? It's not a problem to have high cholesterol. It is a problem to have high cholesterol if it's small, hard LDL particles, the small particles, all right? That can be a problem, and it can also be a problem to have high cholesterol when you have tons of inflammation, okay? So cholesterol by itself is not bad, all right? And please stop listening. I can't tell you this. I don't want to violate some sort of ethics code or something like this. But if you were a family member of mine, I'd tell you to stop listening to your doctor just because he says you have high cholesterol. I want my cholesterol to be over 200. Okay, I want my cholesterol to be over 200 because I know my brain needs it. I know I need it for all my hormones. I do not want to be suffering with muscle loss, muscle mass loss, with decreased sex drive, with brain degeneration, with nerve issues, myelin issues like multiple sclerosis because my cholesterol is too low. Most research shows you do not want it below 160. If it's below 150, you can have a serious problem. Okay, so I want mine to be over 200. I don't want it to be like over 300, but I wouldn't freak out about it as long as I had the big fluffy LDL particles, or I had HDL. And I wouldn't really worry too much about the ratio either. It's just about the particle size of those LDLs. So stop freaking out about the LDLs. Stop freaking out about your cholesterol being over 200. You need it. All right. And and I'm not here to tell you to take medication or not take medication, but I want you to understand this. If you are taking a statin drug, it should be a crime. It should be an actionable ethics offense that you are told to take statin drugs and not take CoQ10. Okay? That's a Q. My poor handwriting. CoQ10. If you are taking a statin drug, that statin drug will interrupt the production of an enzyme in your body called the CoQ10 enzyme, right? If you're taking a statin medication, that medication will interrupt the production of the CoQ10 enzyme, which you need for energy production in your body. You need to have it. Now, that's a side effect of the statin medications. That's not the goal of the statin medication. It's a side effect of it. But the problem that occurs with that enzyme because of the statin medication is the main reason people get leg pain and back pain and they have achiness and all that when they're on a cholesterol-lowering medication because it interrupts that enzyme. So if you are going to take a statin medication, you need to be taking CoQ10 enzyme. And if your doctor doesn't tell you that, then I would suggest you find another doctor because he's missing a huge component of how important it is for that enzyme to exist in your body. It's standard physiology, okay? So if you're taking a statin medication, I cannot tell you here on the internet to take it or not take it. What I can tell you is you need to be taking a CoQ10 supplement, okay? It will help you get the enzyme that this is blocking from being created in the body. That's a side effect from that. Now, just in review, cholesterol is needed. It is not bad. Stop freaking out when it's over 200, okay? Now, go ahead, freak out if you have a bunch of inflammation. If you want to check your inflammation markers, can you see? Hopefully you can still see this. I'm not too far off the screen. But if you want to find out if you have a bunch of inflammation, if you have high cholesterol, you better be aware of what your inflammation numbers are. So inflammation numbers, you want to check your C-reactive protein. Okay, it might be HSCRP or C-reactive protein. HS stands for high sensitivity. So that is an inflammation marker. Another inflammation marker, a lab test, is homocysteine. Okay, if you have high homocysteine, it means inflammation is elevated. We don't want that. We don't want the other one of these to be elevated and also have high cholesterol. Fibrinogen, okay, is another lab marker that helps us determine inflammation levels and also, oh, sorry about that. Another marker for inflammation would be uric acid, okay? So if you have high cholesterol, do two things, okay? If you have high cholesterol, get a particle size study done on your LDLs. Okay, you want to get a particle size study. If you end up having the big fluffy ones and very few of the small ones, thumbs up, rock and roll, no problem. Why would you go on a statin medication if you actually have the good cholesterol, okay? Now, the other thing is if you have high cholesterol, in addition to getting a particle size study done, you want to get your inflammation markers done. So high sensitivity C-reactive protein, homocysteine, fibrinogen, and uric acid are the markers you want to have checked. If you have inflammation levels in the body, my thing would not be to say take a statin medication to lower cholesterol, because those two things together are bad. My thing would be, how about you reduce the inflammation in your body? And that way you don't have to worry about the cholesterol sticking to your arteries, because you reduce the inflammation and you're not worried about the cholesterol, which again your body needs to make all of your hormones. Everybody wants to have great hormone levels. We want those to be right and proper. And I don't know anybody who said, yeah, I would love to grow up to be have dementia and Alzheimer's and all kinds of neurodegenerative diseases. So hopefully that makes sense. If you know anybody who's on a keto diet, okay, please share this with them, okay? Because on a keto diet, the cholesterol is going to go up, all right? Most of the time, the cholesterol is going to go up. People start freaking out about it, and they actually only look at that number, like a total cholesterol. Sometimes their doctor tells them about the HDL-LDL ratio, but they never tell them about the particle size, and they're freaking out about it. They stop a diet, which is actually helping them feel better. My mother-in-law lost 75 pounds on keto, and she's doing fantastic, but her cholesterol is really elevated. So what do we do? Oh, let's talk about this real quick. If you have high cholesterol and you want to try to reduce it naturally, okay, red rice yeast, all right, I don't have any more room to write over here, and red rice yeast and berberine, okay, can help reduce it naturally. But don't freak out about it as long as you don't have inflammation levels that are high, and as long as your particle size study is normal, okay? So, want to make sure that you have this information. Please, please, please share this with people. If you know people that are dieting, if they're on a low-carb diet, then they're generally going to lose weight. Their brain's going to work better, and they'll generally lose inflammation anyway, but their cholesterol levels may go up. It's just not a problem all the time, all right? There's reasons to look and be concerned about cholesterol, but most of it is a bunch of garbage that is designed to sell statin medications, okay? That's most of the freak out is doctors and pharmaceutical companies saying, hey, how can we get our statin medication numbers up? So again, please hit that share button. Give me a little hearts, give me a little likes, but mostly hit that share button, and we'll see you next time. Appreciate you watching. This is Dr. Morris from Magnolia Medical, just in case nobody knows who I am yet. Bye now.